Countries fighting over land? Boring! We've all heard about those age-old disputes over borders and territories. But what if I told you that some countries have been at odds over the most unexpected things? Imagine nations clashing over desserts, whiskey, and even empty chairs. Yes, you heard that right. These rivalries are not just bizarre, they're downright hilarious. Buckle up for the top 5 weirdest country rivalries. You won't believe what some nations have been bickering about for years. For 50 years, Canada and Denmark fought over a useless Arctic rock. No guns, no bombs, just alcohol. This tiny barren island, known as Hans Island, has been the subject of a friendly yet persistent dispute. Every time one country visited, they left behind a bottle of booze and their flag, the world's friendliest invasion. It's like a game of tag, but with alcohol. This quirky tradition has turned a potential conflict into a symbol of camaraderie. Imagine if all disputes could be settled with a bottle of whiskey and a handshake. Since 1179, Spain promised a seat for the Portuguese king at every royal event. This was a grand gesture of respect and alliance between the two nations, but Portugal ditched their monarchy in 1910. Despite this, Spain has continued to reserve a seat for the Portuguese monarch at all royal events. Spain still reserves a seat, just in case Portugal suddenly unabolishes their monarchy. It's a tradition that has outlived its original purpose, but it's kept alive out of respect and perhaps a bit of humor. This empty chair has become a symbol of a bygone era, a quirky reminder of how traditions can persist even when the world around them changes. Sweden and Norway have a legendary rivalry over who's the worst driver. This rivalry is not just a matter of national pride. It's a source of endless jokes and friendly banter between the two nations. Norwegians say Swedes drive like maniacs, with a reckless abandon that makes every trip an adventure. Swedes, on the other hand, claim that Norwegians drive like snails, slow and overly cautious, turning every journey into a test of patience. This playful rivalry has even influenced their infrastructure. Maybe that's why their border crossings have extra-wide lanes, to accommodate both the speed demons and the slowpokes. It's a humorous take on how cultural differences can manifest in the most unexpected ways. Forget land disputes. Australia and New Zealand have been fighting for decades over who invented pavlova. This delicious meringue-based dessert has been a point of contention for as long as anyone can remember. Both claim they made the first one. The debate has sparked countless arguments, with each side presenting old recipes and historical evidence to back their claims. Scientists even did food DNA research on an old recipe. They analyzed the ingredients and methods to try and determine the true origin of pavlova. This town called Barley is a mess. The border between Belgium and the Netherlands cuts through houses, streets, even bedrooms. Imagine sleeping in Belgium but waking up in the Netherlands. This unique situation has created a town where the rules can change from one room to the next. Double taxes, double rules, double confusion. It's a logistical nightmare, but also a fascinating example of how borders can impact daily life in the most intimate ways. The residents of Barl have learned to navigate this complex situation with a sense of humor and adaptability. Rivalries over desserts, whiskey, and bad driving? Humans are weird, but hey, at least they're not fighting over actual serious stuff. These quirky disputes remind us that sometimes it's the little things that bring us together, or drive us apart. Maybe the world should settle conflicts with cake fights instead of wars. Imagine a world where disagreements are resolved with a splash of whipped cream and a sprinkle of sugar. It's a sweet thought, isn't it? At the end of the day, these rivalries show us that even in our differences, there's room for humor and humanity. Which rivalry was the weirdest? Comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these bizarre but fascinating disputes, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more crazy facts. Stay tuned for more incredible stories from around the world. Until next time, keep exploring and keep laughing at the wonderful weirdness of our world.